Hello everyone, my name is Kumudi Virsan and I'm here to talk about a really important issue that everyone needs to know. And thank you so much for the opportunity that has been given to me. Today I'm going to talk about this important issue which grabs everyone's attention for a long time. It's still fighting for its rights till 19th century and until now 21st century. So you must know what kind of issue is that, and some of may realize what issue is that. Gender equality, of course. Gender equality means the equality between two genders, which is male, female, man, woman, boy, and a girl. There's no discrimination. For example, there's no stronger than, there's no powerful than, and there's no smarter than. Just equal. Just equal. And now our world is facing gender inequality, and we need to know the cause of gender inequality. Today we are going to discuss and talk about what is the cause of gender inequality and the ways to overcome those obstacles. Gender equality occurs around us without our knowledge and without our realization, but we need to know that gender equality occurs in every family, every society, every part of the country, and even it occurs to you too, but without your consciousness, without your realization. So I'm going to talk about my experience where I start to know gender inequality happens in myself, in my family, and to everyone. So please allow me to tell about my story, which could give you some perception what is gender inequality is. So my mom is the one who taught me what gender equality and inequality is from telling her past experience about that. So it starts all from my grandmother, who's been the victim of gender inequality. So she was this normal children and one and only girl who has been born to her parents. She was a smart student, she was an active child, she was a charismatic being who can spread positive vibe and happiness to everyone around her. Like those days, it's very rare and frequent to see girls stepping their foot in school to study. But my grandma was one among of them who stepped her foot at school and studied. She was a really brilliant student. She's good at maths, she's an intelligent student in science, and more on. But yet, situation was unfortunate to her where she was married off to my granddad when she was 13 and my granddad was only 20 at that time. So it's very, very, very often to happen children marriage those times like 1970s, 1960s, 1980s too. So my grandmother was sent off married by 30. She don't know who's that guy. She married to a stranger. She need to move to a strange land. It's a total transition in her life, but yet she have to face it. So her first child, my aunt, was born when she was only 14. Fast forward in my life, I remember that during my age of 13 or 14, I was enjoying my teenhood, going hang out with my friends, enjoying my school days. I was getting proper education, and I was literally enjoying my teenagehood, where my grandmother have to build her own family and have to take care of them. So, 14-year-old, she gave birth to her first child. At 26, she already gave birth to 6 and 8 of her child. So just imagine what kind of situation she would be. And to tell frankly, my grandfather was a person with the habit of drinking alcohol and gambling. So he had a job, he take the salary and used most of them to buy drinks for himself and to gamble. So there's no left money to take care of family. So my grandmother was not left with choices, so she had to go and search for a job to raise her family and take care of her kids. By morning, She in my whole family, I mean like my mother's family was reside in a village, a small village. So my grandmother every morning she have to go to a nearby estate to rubber tap, and she left with no choices. She'll be using her own bicycle or she have to walk to a state that is very nearby to the village. And morning she will be doing the job which is rubber tap, and by the evening she will be going for a company, I think a factory, where she need to do all this kind of job, which is cleaning the whole factory and cleaning all the machines over there. Then by the evening or night she will come back to home. She have to do the household chores. She have to cook. She have to clean the house. She have to take care of the children's, of her children's, and so many things. So all her life she was just running, just to raise a family. And now all of children are successful in their lives. And this happens to my mother too. She was one of the highest person with study qualification among her sisters, but sisters just stopped school when they hit puberty, because those times people has been projected with this kind of logic. Once a woman hit puberty, she's ready for marriage, she's ready for giving birth to babies, and she's ready to take care of her family. That seems to be a very illogical thing, but yet still it can't be changed, because it turned to be a stereotype among some of them around us. And they have been stopped from school just to get married off and to take care of their own family and build a family for themselves. So they were not given proper education. As you can see, all this happens because of a reason, which is lack of education. My granddad is a person who is not uneducated. Because of that, he can't really realize and really can't prioritize how education means to a girl or to a boy. Education is a basic right to every human being in this world, but yet still it happens. No one knows the real priority and the importance of education. Women, once they hit puberty, they are known for marriage and making babies, not to study and not to have their own career. So this is where starts gender inequality. Second, lack of religious freedom. As recent survey shows that by 2017, Dubai bans its driving ban for women, where women from starting from year 2017, women can own their own car and can drive them. Before that, women are not allowed from the house. Women are not allowed to drive their own car, and women are not allowed to buy their own houses. There's no freedom. There's no equality. Where a man can do, a woman cannot do. This is really unfair. But yet, that's what's going on in the world now. And according to UNICEF annual report, 15 million of students are uneducated around the world. Very rural countries like Nigeria, Sudan, North Africa, Albania, and more countries more. And 10 million of the 15 million students are probably women, girls who are not educated. And by 2020, the estimation about 98.9% of girls won't be attending to their primary school. Primary education is a start where we create our future. And what happens if we never get the primary education as start of our future? And the ways we can overcome gender inequality is, first, education. Education is a tool where we can change the whole world. It's a quote has been said by Nelson Mandela. But we have to instill in ourselves that we can give proper education to our children and the next generation to come on. So no generation, no girls, no boys, and no anyone won't become a president, a doctor, or a lawyer without education. If my grandmother was given a proper education, she wouldn't be a mother of 8 by 26. By 26, she would be either a doctor or a lawyer. Education is very important and it is a basic right for two genders. I'm not speaking here about the rights for women, both of them too. We need to give equal rights for boys and girls so please give proper education to your children and for the further generation, which really helps our whole world. Second, we can do this to overcome is give proper education of religious to our children. Please give them religious studies so they can understand what is really important in life. First, please do that. Third, we need to give legal protection for the women so they can go freely around the streets by night time too without any afraidness. We need to do that. We need to give protection for women or for men so they can just go around and fly with their wings that have been given. So please don't restrict that. We need to go in action. If we need to see the results, we need some solution, we need to get action. Thank you so much.